Hello everyone, I am Shivantika, legal intern at LEXIS and Company for the month of June, and today we'll take yet another topic and discuss today what are the laws relating to the payment of interest on negotiable instruments. So the concept is not very wide, or the concept is not altogether very difficult. So we'll get into the topic. Okay, so in case of negotiable instruments, sometimes the question arises that as to what the interest should be given to the party. Now, what is the basic rule here? As long as the parties deal fairly and openly with each other, they are given the opportunity and the liberty to fix the interest as they please. And in such a situation, the court is bound to see that the contract is performed. So there is no hard and fast rule as such. The parties themselves can decide on it, that what should be the rate of interest. But being said that, it should be fair, it should not be unreasonable. Therefore, they can choose it on their own. This is mentioned under Section 79 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. The section empowers the parties. So, the Section 79 of the Negotiable Instrument Act has the power to grant relief also against any kind of excessive interest, as it allows the intervention of court in case of an excessive rate of interest. This is what was underlined in the case of Harish Chand versus Ganga Singh. This is a very old case of 1974, yet it holds good. This difficulty basically disappears when the parties themselves agree on the rate of interest. If they specify that this rate in the note itself, expressly the interest shall be calculated at the end of the specified or the amount due on the principal. So be it the case of a bill or a note. Okay, from the date of the instrument until the tender is passed or the realization of such amount is done, or if the suit is filed to recover it until such date as the court directs. All right, so this is a situation when the rate of interest is already decided, but we'll now see a situation when the rate of interest is not specified at all. The parties didn't come to any conclusion as to the rate of interest by themselves. So in such a situation, we look at section 80 of the act. The section 80 of the act specifically deals with the cases in which the interest is mentioned, but the rate at which it is to be changed or not specified. Okay, so when no rate of interest has been specified in the instrument, the interest on it shall be 6% per annum from the date on which it is ought to have been paid by the party charged until the tender or the realization of the amount is due. This was underlined in the case of Ghazi versus Brahma. Okay, this is also a very old case of 1962. In case when the party charged is an endorser in the instrument dishonored by the non-payment, he is liable to pay interest only from the time he receives the notice of dishonor. Okay, these are the cases where the bill is silent with regard to the interest. Okay, but the above provision of granting the 6% interest is subject to the provisions of civil procedure code. Okay, if summary procedure is to be adopted to enforce the payment of the negotiable instrument, the plaintiff is not entitled to recover any interest unless the same is specified in the instrument itself. So the instrument cannot say silent on each and everything. The instrument itself has to decide. The parties themselves has to decide as to what it shall be. Also, in the case of a promissory note payable on demand, the interest runs from the date of the execution itself and not from the date upon which it is presented for the payment. This is also a very important point. Also, in the case of Raj Gopal, this is also a case of 1999. It was observed that Section 80 of the Act provides for cases when no rate of interest is mentioned in the instrument. This section basically governs a case where the negotiable instrument payment of interest is mentioned, but the rate is stipulated, and also a case where no rate is stipulated, and a case where there is no interest mentioned at all in the instrument. Okay, so any agreement between the parties, okay, with subsequent to the date of the negotiable instrument will not have any effect on that agreement. Such agreement will be unenforceable in the light of the laws. All right. So this is the whole concept of interest that is to be paid on the negotiable instruments. Thank you.